Hope people are feeling good. I gotta say, there's a lot of madness going on around me personally, but I feel like that's going to come out in the retrospective. All right, so if everyone wants to hop on the board. Okay. And let me know if you have any problems getting in. Okay, cool. So it looks like everyone here knows how to do this already. Bear, I don't recall if you've joined one of our sprint retrospectives before.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Wait, hey Tam, sorry, it's Gideon. I have not, so I can just kind of follow.
Okay, cool. So essentially the retrospective is noted here in the top of this document, the retrospective documented, the retrospective agenda just shares the reason that we do the retrospective as part of Scrum. Scrum is really founded on empiricism and lean thinking. So using the knowledge that we've had and the experiences that we've had to make changes and decisions of what we've observed and experienced, and then getting rid of the things that don't work and doubling down on the things that are working. So when we go through these three pipelines, they are simply what went well, what could be done, we could do better, what could have been done better, and actions to improve. The what went well part is essentially for it can go on any scale. So what went well for yourself personally, in your working group or in the working groups you're working with, in the TEC community, or even just at the world at large. And then the same thing for could do better or actions to improve. So I see that Chewy has arrived, and I wonder if Chewy wouldn't mind being our retrospective DJ today?
Sure.
Thank you for always being up for that, Chewy. Okay, so I'll set a timer for 5 minutes, and we could all hop into the what went well. Just drop things on the Post-it notes. And does everyone have access? Are you in the board, Gideon? Ah, there you are. I see you. Cool. All right, let's get started.
Hello. Fuck. Fuck is that?
All right, it looks like our time is. True, this is a really good choice. I'm really digging it. Looks like our time is up. Costa, do you feel like reading out the what went well for everyone?
Sure. TEC token is holding strong. Gardens went down. The SEM put it on Blossom, then Gardens went back up. Zep is killing it with transparency. We even have everything backed up. Omega library is close to delivery. I believe everyone will like it. Eduardo took days off. Kickoff of thing like a commoner book club on Common Stack inspired by Gideon sharing about it in SoftGo. TC price is steady as rock. Sample group has been created. Very good news to our endeavor towards financial health. Stewards funding proposal on the forum. Next stop, CV. We touched sensitive topics like money and race. One Hive rocks. All our tooling is working as expected and security is boosted. Honeyswap is back live. Leaning into the tough conversations. CS launched a new book club for Think Like a Commoner by Bollier. Outreach to praise activation done. I just presented praise to a new community. It was insightful. Rewards payout are happening. Compensation conversation in SoftCode felt important to me. Gideon's leadership in Sampo. Sampo working group mentioning different types of wealth was great for this week's SoftCode meeting. Tam supporting Zep so much, PMing the ABC page. Sampo working group ramping up quickly thanks to experience of other stewards. Conversations in the forum. Reward distribution is done. Members' experience on the TEC is getting planned better. Gideon and Sampo are the next big thing in the TEC. I feel it. Some good experimented in collaborative writing in Writer's Guild. What bear market? TEC token is so strong, token engineering paying off. TEC token price is so memeable right now. Audit work is exceptional. Very proud of the transparency we have in the TEC. Gardens went down and Sem made a backup same day. I started to increase my activity around different working groups, Sampo and Writer's Guild. It is a pleasure to work with Gideon. Gravity DAO is nominated for the Commons Prize. Started to integrate more with Omega, it feels good. We wanted to slow down spending and nothing is going through the gardens. ABC advanced page is coming. Long-term impacting tech decisions happening first. We will save us some money and effort in the future. Next monthly intro to TE in Spanish. What? That cat scared me. 36 nominations to Index Commons communities. One what we got. There is chaos everywhere, but TEC is green in the sea of red. And that's all. You're muted, Tom, if you're speaking nothing.
You're muted again.
I'm still muted. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm trying to double click the mute. Well done, Mert, with this nice meme, timely. And so we have quite a full house today. So I think we'll try to just keep it to 1 minute and pass. If you want to share reflections on what went well. And I'll ask Chewy, you want to get us started?
Yeah, sure, Tim. Well, I feel that like on top of like the whole like market conditions, it was just like a series of events and just like bad luck because of what happened in One Hive, and part of our infrastructure was down. So I feel that sometimes like communities are tested, and I really like that the community is still coming together and getting over these kinds of obstacles. So yeah, I'm motivated by that part, and also the stability of TEC price has been really impressive to see. And I'll pass it to Gideon.
Thanks, Jerry. So all the mentions of Sampo and me is really nice. I feel like it's a honeymoon phase. So we'll see in a couple weeks if people are still feeling the same way. It's going to be tough in some ways, but we'll try to keep it fun. I want to call out these conversations that are happening about around race and around how people value work. And I think actually that's one of the things that's amazing about this community is this willingness to be real and dive into these kinds of questions, because they really shape like what it's like to be here and work here. And I love how there's just kind of this fearless commitment to diving into that. And I think that's part of what makes us successful. I'm going to pass to Mert.
So I want to mention firstly the TC price discussions. Like it's awesome that like there's a lot of skepticism around bonding curves and the space, but like we see even in this beer market, it's how steady. So it's like nice to see the success of it. Secondly, I think that this, as you guys said, like there has been a lot of discussion that may somebody consider like let's say sensitive topics such as like how should we get compensations, what is the type of compensations, race, and all those other things. I think it's amazing to be able to speak those things without feeling any like offensive energy. So that's two things I wanted to mention as what went well. And I would like to pass it on, Livia.
Thanks, Mert. I'm just so happy that the rewards payout is happening today. This feels like such a huge milestone with so many people involved, and it almost makes me want to cry. I'm like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. It feels amazing. And yeah, on all of the conversations we've been having, I think there is a depth in some processes, and the talk we had in SoftCov yesterday felt really important, and it feels like we're tapping on something there that will be expended and hopefully be helpful for all the community in regards to compensation and ways we see value. And oh yeah, and the Think Like a Commoner book club was started today, and I just wanted to acknowledge that came from like opening space in SoftGov to hear Gideon sharing about the book and understanding how inspiring that is. So just how communities intertwine in important topics. And I'll pass to Septimus.
Thank you, Levi. Yeah, for me, what is exceptional about this sprint is like, our partnership we have like One Eye. They spot the bug and they were working like they fixed it very quick, and I don't know, it was gorgeous like having these people so deeply involved on what we are doing a partnership with them. And then also like the TC price. Come on, it's still above $2. This is great. I'll pass it to Chewy.
Chewy went
I
already,
went
but
already.
Or to Edu.
Thank you, Pam. But well, I feel like I was writing today the template, the funding proposal for Communitas, and sort of looking back, it is nice to see the things that we have accomplished and the things that we still are to accomplish. So I don't know, I feel it feels good, mainly because as you mentioned, Septi, and other people mentioned, is this idea that the DAISY prize and all this holds up also because there's a community behind it that sustain and sort of keep this economy alive. So it's nice to see how all these elements came to play when situations like the honey swap situation, all this happened. So I don't know. I feel it's good. And we'll pass it on to Griff.
Okay, cool. Sorry, playing the mute games with Lauren here. But yeah, I mean, so many huge things happened. HoneySwap got hacked and recovered and barely lost any money. That is so rare in crypto. When was the last time you heard a hack where there's like less than 100K was lost? You know, it's usually like, I think, what is it, 20K, 30K or something was lost, this HoneySwap hack. And normally it's millions and millions of dollars. So, oh my God, we dodged a huge bullet and we're so lucky. So that's great. Obviously, the TEC price is something that, like, this is a huge opportunity for the TEC, I would say. I hope that we can really capture it because it's a sea of red out there. Everyone who invested in the TEC right now should be so happy that they did, right? Anyone who bought tokens is like, this is the best token in their portfolio right now, by far. It's either this or die. That's it. So even stable coins are dying right now. So like TC's doing really well. And also rewards, the rewards working group, major milestone. I mean, I feel like it was a huge week, even though it feels like a lot of the things that we started, a long time ago and designed a long time ago are coming to fruition now and protecting us without us doing that much, honestly. So it's super cool. Oh, and Sem putting up gardens like really quick was great. Like we had, within a few hours, we had another website that we could vote on. So it's really nice to still have these great connections. And I'll pass it to Mount Manu.
Thanks, Riff. Yeah, for me, I think I'm excited about the token engineering intake form. I think it's a huge step. It was one of the retrospective actions a couple sprints back. So definitely a lot of people that I've onboarded are interested in that. So I'm eager to get that on their hands. The results of the audit are going out in a newsletter. Again, I appreciate SEPT reaching out to me, and I encourage other working groups if they need any type of marketing outreach, then please, that's what the marketing team's here for. That went well. The reward distribution happening today. Yeah, I'll get money. Comms teams as well, like the T Academy is an autopilot, translations back on track after gravity. Yeah, all good. I will pass it to, is that everyone? Bear? Who's left? Anna Kay? Bear?
Lauren, we could pass to Lauren.
Oh, Lauren, I'll pass to Lauren.
Okay, thanks. I mean, everything I was going to say has kind of already been said, so I'll just say the same things, but a little quickly. TEC token price is doing amazing. Everything's dumping, and it feels so much pain, but it's like it feels also then good to be part of a DAO where it's like, I mean, we did the bonding curve, and we did all this token engineering, and it's like really showing kind of in the stability of our token price that like we done good. So I think that also like builds a lot of like credibility and reputation for the TEC. It's like kind of the market crashing in some ways, like very good for the TEC. Yeah, also just really impressed with like the speed at which One Hive kind of like had the hack and then regenerated from it. I mean, it was like, yeah, they barely lost any funds. Sem was able to put gardens up on Blossom like really, really quickly. And so it was like everything happened really seamless. And that's really great. I'll pass it to, well, actually, now we're getting down there.
Yeah, Bear would be great. He didn't go yet.
Bear.
I'm also still to go.
Yeah. I guess he left. So yeah, Costa, do you want to go next?
Yeah. For me, I'm really happy that we're having conversations about sensitive topics like race, because I'm always been quite colorblind, and maybe I'm not giving a space for people to talk about it, even though I think that I'm valuing everyone equally. But it's really important for me to be forced into having this conversation and having to answer questions that I'm not asking myself. That's it for me.
Yeah, I think that is everyone then, except maybe my turn to go. And I'm going to keep this really short because there's so many of us. We are halfway through this hour and only 1/3 through our board. So I'm just going to say it was a very intense week. High highs, low lows, this kind of week. So very, I think intense was the right word. Could do better. Okay, so what things maybe didn't go so well for you personally, or the working group, or our community, or the world at large? And I'll set a timer for 5 minutes while we brainstorm on those or reflect on those things. All right, we have about 10 seconds left. So it feels like, for me personally, I feel like I could go a lot deeper into this, but I'll maybe ask if anyone wants to continue to write things, to write them on the bottom of the list so that we could read them out now. And Gideon, how would you feel about reading out things that could do better?
Sure. Okay. Advice processes could use more engagement from stewards. We're approaching the first 6 months of funding of working groups and haven't fully solved the revenue challenges. Low forms engagement. Got to zoom in here. There is something about rewards relaunching that suddenly makes me feel a little nervous. Now with actual TEC tokens, this is monetary feel. I'm describing this badly, but how can we get in front of any friction that may be introduced? We should prepare for winter. Writers Guild is struggling to build momentum with actual articles published. First, rewards payout felt so unfair. More conversations with contributors and checking on how they feel about compensation. I feel like there's so much happening off my radar. Our weekly sync and the community call is where I find out so much. More education. The Token Engineering Governance Guild was feeling quite confusing. Compensation is such a complex subject for any org to handle. It is very emotional for many. I have a 13-year-old crying in her bedroom. No. Agreed with the more education. I would love to see deep dive discussions of token engineering practices like we have done for bonding curves, something like stable token, etc. Omega has been doing very important work, and it feels like there is not much attention to them. There is a lot more work to be done on creating fair compensation structures. Stewards multi-sig depends on the proposal passing to clear distribution for May, exclamation points. Rethinking praise transcription. Where do the hours go in the day? The lack of clarity on how praise working group budgets interact in total compensation. Our website is hard to change and add content to. We need to get a circulating supply up in CoinGecko. We must better understand the different dimensions of value other than compensation. Can we connect with the commons prize better?
Cool, thanks for that. And because we are many and with little time, maybe it wouldn't be worth going around, and I mean, it wouldn't be worth not sharing our thoughts, but I'm gonna just set the timer for 30 seconds. So it's gonna be a little bit of a fastish round. So maybe to get us kicked off, Olivia, would you like to get us kicked off?
Yeah. The reason why I'm so happy also because of the reward system payout is because I think we'll start having more data to actually look at what's happening in terms of compensation. It felt like we were floating in so many unknown variables now, and we're getting more grounded. So I'm excited to get more deep in this conversation, and I understand that it feels very fuzzy and unfair for some people now. And just a quick comment, I don't know if it would be a good idea to connect so much with the Commons Prize, because it feels like we did such a work to separate the narratives of the orgs. And I'll pass to Edu.
Thank you. I don't think I have anything relevant to say, so I will pass it on to Lauren.
I really struggled with thinking of things that we could do better. I mean, I'm just thinking of things that I'm worried that it's bear market and we should like really kind of try to plan accordingly. And I mean, I think the work that we're doing to try to like increase our common pool funds is going to be really important to like hold us through the long winter. Pass it to Griff.
Yeah, I'll just talk through yours.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're. I had some challenge thinking of things as well. I wrote that I think we could connect with the common prize better, and I think actually defining the roles, having the two orgs together in one place makes it easier to differentiate. Because yeah, anyway. And I also just think for the TC, it's a good marketing approach. You know, like 36 comments wanted to have what we have. That's like something that we should brag about. And also, we need to get a circuit. Our market cap isn't showing up on CoinGecko, so we don't get the love there. I'll pass it to Gideon. Did Gideon go? No.
Thanks, Griff. You know what? I don't have a lot to add. I guess I would just say the compensation thing. I'm gonna just echo what Livia is saying. You know, like it's really hard right now, but once I think it's just like how all these pieces fit together. We're gonna start getting good data on that, and then we'll be able to tackle this problem a little bit better. So that's my sense, anyways. I will pass to Zepti.
Thank you, Gideon. Yeah, for me, like the low engagement in the forums is quite a thing. Like especially like the topics that are in advanced process, I feel like we could engage more with those. And regarding the Codeco, I think we could send them the gardens thing. Maybe we create an issue and we talk about it in tomorrow's sprint planning. And yeah, I'll pass it to Bear.
Thank you. I also don't have much to add either. So I'll pass it on to Mert.
Thank you. So, like, my opinions are mostly resonated what Gideon Livia has said. So I don't want to take lots of time about compensation. Just wanted to mention what Tamara wrote. It's kind of becoming emotional for many people. So maybe we can also think about how different dimensions of value can attract people to participate the network more, so that you can create a balance between monetary and other kind of value. Yeah, so I'd like to pass it on. Chewy, I think, has not gone yet.
Thank you, Mert. I also don't have a lot to add, but I do share like some of the concerns about the market conditions. So yeah, hopefully we can come up with a longer term plan for making good decisions. I'll pass it to Manu.
Thank you, Chuy. Yeah, what Mert said yesterday on the Softcup call and what he just said resonates with me. I think if we found other ways of growing and or giving space for the members of our community to grow, then we don't necessarily need to pay them more. So I know that Tom and I way back discussed something about like a self-development type of thing, maybe like a book club or something, and that would be really cool. So I'll just say that. Yeah, I'll just say that, and I will pass it to Juanca.
Thanks. I want to say that I am in a hacking session here in the Give It House with Sam and Ming. We are designing for Unbreakable Bows. And yeah, on my side, so many things happening. I feel that sometimes I need like more support on some things because like the Graviton training, I am happy that today we finished the book club. Who do we choose to be? And I will try to join the Think Like a Commoner one. And like I would have loved to be able to produce a better video for the Commons Prize nomination, but as everything was happening so fast, I just sent like the first video I had. So yeah, I think from the gravity side, we could have done better at our participation in the Commons Prize. And I'll pass to Tam.
Yeah, I'm the last one to go. Thanks, Wonka. I didn't miss anyone, right? Okay. I guess I want to say that, I was so looking forward to the rewards, and then suddenly I felt like there was some tension in the air, and I was like, oh no, that's right. There's going to be some friction that we have to just get in front of and message well. But I also look at the rewards as like, we're just taking tiny steps to get to where we want to go. So these next two distributions will be experiments that we're going to learn from. And so I think that's a healthy way for me to look at it. Okay, awesome. So we will skip the voting on could do better for time. We have about 16 minutes left. In actions to improve, take something that is on the board that you think you can riff on and create some actions that can help improve it, or anything else that you feel inspired to write could help us in our next sprint. And I'll set a timer now. All right, cool. So now it suddenly feels like we're rich on time with 10 minutes left. So while I pass it around and set a timer again for, I guess, 38 seconds, we can start to organize these into different groups. And I'll pass to Edu to get us started.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, I feel like something that's stuck with me was Omega. Someone mentioned Omega and how little visibility they are having. And this week, having the conversation with Angela, and she asked me a question regarding Omega, and I was not able to answer accordingly. So I feel, I feel like there is a lot of hard work put in that working group, and not so much awareness about what they do. And I feel like we should support it more. So, my 2 cents on that, and I will pass it on to Gideon.
I'm sorry. I was looking at Movie Things Rocket. What was the prompt?
Just your reflections on some of the. Oh, did we not read these out? Did I just skip that?
Yeah, but that's okay. I think we can.
Sorry. Does maybe we'll take that moment. Olivia, do you want to read them out, even though they're all in funky order now?
Sure. Support Casal with front-end modifications. Support Costa with Gitbook changes. Move to more easily editable website platform like WordPress. Omega researching the distinction between value in economics, neuroscience, philosophy, psychology, and sociology, and incorporating it into the benefits we give to our contributors. Let's plan a meeting with CS and TEC comms and be careful with the narrative, but empower both orgs from this joint success. I hear your points, Griff. Integrate Omega with TE Academy more. Help with in real life events planning for TE communities that think outside the TEC community. Raise more awareness for Omega. Tag people you want advice from on the forums. Create space for reactions to the first several raise distributions. Allow community to voice perspectives and how they feel as a result. Get in contact with Tokenomics DAO. They are doing something we should have available for TEs. Conversation about how the Twitter will impact us. Incentivize people to map their financial compensation and have a clear write-up of the TEC capacities for compensating people at the moment. API for TEC circulating supply already exists, just need to get it up on CoinGecko. Return of the reward leaderboard. Create a budget, no infinite money out there, have to live within our means. Recruit more writers for Guild. Commons Prize voting party in TEC Discord, cross-promote with CS on Commons Prize, become one of us. Get circular supply on CoinGecko to show our market cap. TE 360 events promoted more in the TEC.
I think there was just one more community conversations survey about how people think about why they work here, i.e. not just compensation. Okay, back to you, Gideon.
Thanks, Tam. So, yeah, I mean, the things that pop out to me is it does feel like there's some things about like web dev, like web development, like how do we deal with resources there? There's like another thing about just conversations about compensation and overall value like that people get from the community. I will pass to Juanca.
Yeah, at least what I wrote was to have voting parties for the common stock price here in the TC. Most of the hatchers, all of the hatchers have CSTK tokens. So it would be really useful to make, as we did, like debates and parties. It would be really cool to have this kind of calls in our server. And I'll pass to Manu.
Thank you. Sure. Yeah, I just think I mean we are we are a post-capitalistic now, so I'm just very interested in exploring and redefining value. So yeah, doing research on the different dimensions of value. You know, it's not only financial, but it can also be psychological, like I said, self-development, sociological, philosophical, etc. So um, I'll pass it to Septi.
Thank you, Manu.
And
Yeah, I
I
want.
just interrupt to say you can start voting. So take 2 stars and put 1 star on 1 post-it note. Or you could put 2 stars on 1 post-it note, I suppose. Okay,
I just made a guess of what's going through the link that Chris posted there, and I don't know if that's what ConGecko needs, but for me, I cannot understand because like the number that total supply is given there is way higher, and the circulating supply also is way higher to what in reality is. So yeah, just if you can answer me that, Chris. I couldn't listen yet the audio, but and yeah, I'll pass it to Edu. Oh, Edu went. I'll pass it to. Oh, who didn't win? I'll pass it to Griff.
Are you able to find the mute, Griff?
Yeah. Sorry, muting is such fun. Yeah, well, the nice thing is I just chatted with Vitor and he said we already have the supply thing done, so that's nice. Yeah, I feel like the like, you know, being part of the DAO with like expectations are the root of all disappointment. So making sure that we're not over promising, under delivering when it comes to rewards. And I really like this idea of having a budget and like being being like serious about what we can spend and living within that. If we don't know how much we can spend, then it just feels like we have infinite money. We don't. I'm not sure. Oh, Lauren, you need to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have that same thought. I think coordinating around like what our spending. Oh,
sorry.
what our available budget is, and kind of like prepping and kind of like asking the question. Okay, are we moving to a bear market now? And then like what that means for the TEC and sort of creating good planning around that. I think that would be really valuable. And I'll pass it to Costa.
Thank you. For me, I'll agree with the one saying to move the website to another platform, so it's like easier to edit. And the same with the Gitbook. It's okay, but it's kind of like clunky to move things around. And that's all. I don't know who's left. Maybe you, Tom?
Maybe pass it to Livia.
The thing about Thanks, Tim. Yeah, I think the expectation conversation would be really nice, just understanding people's different expectations and having the expectations of the TEC, the capabilities of the TEC very clear. So people know when they are in or out of their... Sorry, Griff, can you mute, please?
Oh, sorry.
And yeah, getting in contact with Tokenomics DAO, I think it would be amazing because I just found out about them yesterday and they have an incredible work that it's very aligned with us, I think.
I don't think Chewy has gone yet.
Thank you, Tom. I also don't have a lot to add, but yeah, I didn't know about Tokenomics DAO, so I'm giving it a read right now. So it looks very interesting, and I think there are many opportunities in sharing some knowledge with them. And I'll pass it to Mert.
Yeah, so actually, you guys have been touching lots of points. I am also thinking that having a budget, like defined budget, will be very good, so that people will know that they will compensate it based on the like the existing resources. So it will be nice to have. And also regarding the discussion about Omega, I feel like it's kind of a self-criticism, but I, I could do better job in promoting Omega and the other working groups. So I will try to make it more visible, maybe participating other working group calls and like chime in there. So basically, I would say, uh, or maybe it's like two-way relationship, but I will do my best.
Okay, and that's exactly why we do these retrospectives, actually. So a perfect result. We are at the top of the hour, and we do have a really clear, most popular action to bring into the next retrospective, which is get in contact with tokenomics. We'll talk about it on the sprint planning tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. See you later. Update your slides.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dan.
everyone.